Hello, beautiful friends. Heather here. This transmission is an activation to bring us into a higher alignment with the flow state. Yeah, super cool. So this is about really leaning into our intuitive nudges and trusting that we are being guided by our higher selves and pretty much always have been. It's just that the veil is starting to thin now, and we're able to really start leaning into this without as many distortions from, the fear and the lack and all the other limiting beliefs that we had been carrying. So by leaning into the flow state, that means releasing what small self wants to do, like person Heather versus higher self Heather. Because higher self Heather is where we're headed, not to higher self Heather. We're headed to our higher selves. As we raise our frequency, our higher selves hold a different frequency. So we're leaning in that direction. We're journeying towards source in that direction, towards our higher selves. And all time is now, so time is not linear. So things are done differently in the higher frequencies, and it's about being in flow. And so the way that we've been doing things in the 3D is like, well, I do it this way and I always do it this way, and this is what works for me. Well, that works for 3D you, but for your higher frequency you, there is a more efficient, flowing, more awesome way that's gonna bring you to other synchronicities and alignments that are gonna end up showing you more, helping you grow faster, bringing you into alignment with different people, places, things, that kind of stuff, and more efficiently. Your life will become more efficient as we go further into the flow state. And no, I'm not saying I'm like fully into flow state. However, I have been being guided by spirit to really lean into the flow state. Now, this started back when I was doing the housekeeping, and I knew that there was a more efficient way. I just knew it, and so I called in the law of efficiency, which I'll link that transmission down below. And then all of a sudden, I released how I did it, how I thought it should be done, and I leaned into how I was being guided. And sure enough, I started shaving off time from my cleaning jobs. And it was amazing, and it was efficient, and I was in flow, and it felt good. And every now and again, I'd be like, okay, yeah, this is how I do it. This is how I'm going to do it. And then I'd be like, no, I feel like I'm being guided to like do the trash right now, or whatever it was. And I would do that, and then that would lead to doing this, and then that, and then this, and then that. And the next thing you know, I'm done cleaning, and I've done it a half an hour faster than normal. So this is the thing with the law of, or with the flow state. So, the other thing that's been happening more recently is really cool. So I'm on the road traveling and camping all around the United States and just following my guidance. And a couple months ago, Spirit said, you're being too controlling. And I was like, really? Because they would tell me, I would get the intuition of where I need to go. And I would link together all the synchronicities and all the signs and be like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to go. Or I'd get a direct message, this is where I'm supposed to go. But then I would plan it, and I would look at the maps, and I'd be like, okay, these are the different campgrounds. I'll go to this campground, yada, yada. And Spirit was like, you're being too controlling. So I was like, all right, let's see, how do we do this then? Next thing you know, I'm driving, and they're telling me to turn off my navigation. So I turn off my navigation, this, that, and the next thing. I'm ending up at the most magical places. And no, this didn't come super easy for me, and I'm still leaning into this. So, like coming here to this campground, I probably never would have found this campground. I probably would not have come this far. As a matter of fact, I wanted to stop earlier and kind of spend the day outside. But I know that Spirit is guiding me, and there are certain places I need to be, certain ley lines, or however, there's a lot at play out here, okay? This isn't just like a luxury, hey, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there. However, I am enjoying the heck out of it. But, so I got in the car, and I did not know where I was going. But I was trusting that I was guided. And every now and again, I would start to like, what am I doing? And when I got to that space, I'd stop and breathe down into my heart space, tuning in, raising my frequency back up, and then tuning into my higher self, checking in, okay, I'm supposed to keep going. I'm supposed to keep going. Every now and again, I'd pull into a campground and be like, yeah, this is not where I want to stay. So I knew that that was not where I was supposed to stay because it didn't feel good, which is something I learned from Bentinho Massaro. He has this whole thing about the emotional guidance system. And so if it doesn't feel good, that's showing you something. So clearly, if I was like, oh, I don't want to stay at this campground, then it was like, well, that's not the one for you. And so I was getting my messages and it was like, keep going, keep going, keep going. Anyhow, look where I ended up. Pretty great, right? Pretty great. And it's free. Yep. And they have water and bathrooms. Amazing. So anyhow, this is what we're being called to start leaning into, is the flow state. And this, I recommend really trying this out and start small. Like maybe you go to the grocery store and you do it a certain way. Ask your teams in spirit, ask your guides, hey, is there a more efficient way to do this? I'd like to lean into the flow state. And you never know, you might be guided around the grocery store differently and doing it differently. And there might be it might be super awesome. Well, it will be if you're in the flow state. And then the other way to do it would be like maybe when you're driving and all of a sudden you'll feel guided to go a certain way. And then you'll be like, wait, but I always go this way. Well, that would be your small self, the little I. But the bigger case I, the bigger self, is guiding you, go left. And they might be, keeping you away from an accident or a traffic or whatever, something like that. So this is leaning into this flow state is amazing because, yeah, the whole linear thing is not, we don't have to adhere to that anymore and do things in that way. And it's so much more efficient and flowy to start doing things the new way, the way we're being guided into doing them. So that's what this transmission's all about, is activating that and bringing us into that higher alignment and kind of creating the space, bringing forth the opportunities for this to show itself to us. And, you've got to set your intentions with this. Also, when you go out, like, I want to be in flow state today. Or when you wake up in the morning, I choose to be in flow state today. I ask my teams and my higher self to guide me in greater flow today. So set your intentions and lean into it and see how it shows up for you, because it'll be different for each and every one of us, because we're all at a different space in our journey. So, yay, flow state. Okay, let's take a moment and move our consciousness down into our heart space. A few deep breaths. I do recommend doing this before you even turn on my transmissions, to really come into that alignment and set your intentions to open up and receive. Because even while I'm talking, I'm delivering codes and frequency. So to really set your intention to come into that alignment, your chakras are fully aligned and balanced. And when we're aligned and balanced, then everything flows through with greater ease. And then we're able to receive better. So a few deep breaths. Opening up to receive for our highest and greatest good. Prekete tuya sekete ye ano ese ye lehe solo orama a ano sekete tuya sekete ye ana asala arama a ano ya a lehe solo orama a hela oisele ero mo ye na anama na nama anane so ye nama ane no ye lehe no ma a he ano sekete tuya sekete tuya sekete ye ana asala arama a ano sekete tuya sekete. There's a road up there. Prekete tuya sekete tuya lehe solo oirama a ela harama asala arama a no sekete tuya satas he no sekete tuya sele no ye nama a he no sekete tuya sekatas he no sekete tuya sekete tuya lehe solo oirama a. So let go of those desired outcomes and what you feel like you should do, and trust your guidance. Really feel into it. Prekete tuya sekete ye ana asala a no nama ne so ye ne no ne se ye na Hey, hey, no asa ala arama asala a no esekete tu esekete tu laha anama a ese tu asatas no esekete tu asatas no asala arama a. I love you so very much. You got this. I believe in you. And don't forget, I'm available for sessions, and I'm doing personalized light language videos on a sliding scale. And then also I'm working with Diana. It's the best, you guys. Oh my gosh. We work with our main thing is like clearing energies, but it's amazing what's happening. The synergy that happens when her and I get together and the channeling that starts occurring is amazing. We're doing a lot of trauma work, clearing blocks, densities, and yeah, it's out of this world. I mean, Avi, right? Isn't that obvious? I don't know if that's obvious. It's out of this world. So anyway, please feel free to reach out for whatever it is you need. I'm available. So I love you so much. All the links will be down below. Blessings to you and your family and your friends, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.